Series is now officially longer than the things I actually like in FIFA 19 Career Mode series. Today we are back with another episode of the things that do not make sense in FIFA 19 Career Mode. In this episode we're going to be discussing a few bugs and we're going to be also discussing a few things that you guys suggested for the Things We Hate series. So I hope you do enjoy the episode. Remember, if you do, to leave a thumbs up for me. And if you're new around here and you want to see more episodes in the series, all you have to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell and you won't miss any. So this series is driven by the community, which means that I need your help in order to make future videos. If you play Career Mode, you experience anything that you think doesn't make sense, feel free to send them in on Instagram DM, leave a comment down below, or send them to me on Twitter as well. I'm going to try and put the best ones on the list for a future video. So we're going to start the episode with a clip from Big Man Biggles. I'm not sure what that means, but hopefully it's not rude. But we're going to have a clip there. As you can see, Tammy Abraham is loan listed. So you would think, offer Tammy Abraham a loan deal, they'll accept that. So he goes back to his transfer hub. Because the menus are so slow, you can see how long it takes to just get to the transfer hub. He scrolls all the way down, tries to find Tammy Abraham. There he is. And as you can see, since he was loan listed, he tries to put a loan deal in. Approach to loan. The club isn't interested in loaning this player out. So I can't believe this is actually a clip, and I can't believe I have to show you these kinds of clips, but this is the kind of stuff that is going on in Career Mode at the moment. If a player is loan listed, the club should be looking to get rid of him on a loan deal. It shouldn't be just like when you go to approach a loan listed player, the club's not interested in loaning the player out. And maybe you might be thinking, well, Vapex, maybe he was coaching a rival club and the team doesn't want to loan the player out to a rival club, which is understandable. But the guy was managing Fulham, which is not really a threat to Chelsea. So it's just basically something that doesn't make sense. So this one comes from Clive. He reckons that it doesn't make sense that we can't train national team players. So right now I'm on international duty with Uruguay and I'm a day before a match here. And when I go to train players, I can only train my Liverpool team, which is the club team that I have. That's another thing that doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be able to train club players while you're on international break. So yeah, pretty much he just wants the ability to train national team players. And you might say that it's not practical because, you got 4 games, or not 4 games, 2 games in 4 days. So one could argue that it's not practical to hold too many training sessions. But at the end of the day, if I simulate to a day before a Premier League game, I still have the ability to train my players a day before a club game. So what I'm trying to say here is, yes, you could argue that maybe 2 games in 4 days doesn't require a training session, but if you can still train your players a day before a Premier League game, you can put in the ability to train players a day before an international game as well. So where this feature would be the most useful is before a big competition like a World Cup or a Euro tournament or the South American Cup. So right now I finished the club season, I did the Champions League final right there, and now I have 1 month here and another few days there to just wait before I get to play my South American Cup. So why not have the ability to train players for that month to get them going, improve their overalls and stuff. And yeah, it just makes so much sense. It's so practical. And this is another thing that doesn't make sense in Career Mode. It was suggested by Brendan. It says absolutely no manager rotation in Career Mode, which means managers do not get sacked. They don't join new teams. Pretty much, if you do a Career Mode up until 2033, you're going to see Jose Mourinho at Man United still, regardless of how he performs. You're going to see Guardiola at Man City, regardless of how he performs. Pretty much, these managers are there until the end of the Career Mode lifespan, so 15 years. Now, we all know this is totally unrealistic in today's world. There's no more Alex Fergusons, there's no more Arsene Wengers where they last 20 years. Usually, they get 3 years if they're lucky. So, you saw the other day, Fulham's manager got sacked. Ranieri's getting his job. And, that was a quick rotation there. So while I was doing some research, someone on one of the Reddit sites said that managers do get sacked because otherwise potential job openings wouldn't exist. But that's not actually true. The only way the manager gets sacked is if you replace him at that club. If you don't choose to take any job offers and you don't replace any managers, they're all going to stay at the same club until the end of the Career Mode save. I would like to see teams that get relegated drop their manager, sack their manager, and then their manager goes and joins another club, maybe in a different country or something. Just more rotation, if you know what I mean. So I think this is a good suggestion because it's not very realistic to see Jose Mourinho at Man United still in another 15 years. So this is sort of a joint suggestion between me and Alexander. Alexander says that you can't request friendlies against other teams in pre-season, and I sort of added on to that. And basically, I would like this feature back because sometimes you don't want to do a pre-season tournament, but if you decide to decline that, you get like a whole month of nothing until the Premier League starts or whatever club competition you're in. So I just declined the pre-season tournament, and look how many days I've got off now, and all you can do is basically sim up to this day or train your players in the meantime. Why can't there be an option to request friendlies with other clubs that aren't doing preseason tournaments and are just sitting there, you know? So this one is something that's a little bit small, so you might be thinking, oh, it's not that important, but it has been brought to my attention more than once, so I have to put it on the video. So Robbie says that there's something wrong with the expected to make debut news tile. So let's take a look at the image here. This is the tile that he's talking about. I signed Ruben Neves for the purposes of the experiment, and you can see he's in a Liverpool kit already, and the photo looks like he's already played a match, you know, but what people are saying is, like, how did they get that photo of him in a Liverpool kit when he hasn't even played a match yet in front of the fans and stuff like that? So it's just something small, but, you know, you guys love the little details and the realism, and I think what could work better here is maybe have like a training kit, even if it's like a generic sort of thing, or maybe a tracksuit, you know, just to not make it look like he's already played a game. So this is something suggested by me, and it doesn't make sense for me because I would love to see a cutscene when you sign for a club as a manager. So let's say, you know, it's day one of FIFA 19 or any other career mode basically. You're setting up your squad, you're setting up your settings, you pick your dream club, you've always wanted to manage them, you pick your concept manager, even though you should be able to create your own, and then you hit the advance button, and what do you get? A stupid article saying that you're the new manager. There's no excitement for me seeing this. I want to see a cutscene of my guy, my manager, walking across a interview room, shaking a few hands maybe, taking photos, just like Pez does. As you can see, that cutscene is fantastic. It gets you hyped up to start your career mode, and EA just give you these stupid articles. I don't understand it. So this one was sent in by WowWow, and basically, when you see potential to be special for a player in your squad or for someone you're about to sign, you should get excited because that usually means that the guy has like a 90 potential, very, very high, very promising player. You know what I mean. But in this case, WowWow got a player called Lianco, and it says potential to be special in another language. I apologize for that. So when he went to check on this guy's potential, thinking that it was going to be like at least a 90 or an 85, something like that, he was worth an 80 potential. Now, to me, that is not the definition of has potential to be special. Yes, an 80 potential is pretty good. It's good enough if you've got a budget team, you can't afford to buy the big name players. But in the grand scheme of things, an 80 potential does not excite most career mode players. This one was sent in by Alex, and I think this is the definition of what do you mean. So he's doing a player career mode with Marcus Rashford, and you know how you get your little messages on how you're going. So as you can see, this is the screenshot he sent me. The manager feedback says, a green star. It says, yet another first-rate passing performance. You always seem to find a teammate. So that means to me, like, this guy is pretty accurate. This guy can ping a ball across the field and get it right on the guy's foot. The next one below that says, watch your accuracy. Some of your passing has been slightly wayward this season. 1 minute you tell me that I have the best passing that you've ever seen, and now you tell me that my accuracy is pretty bad. So I don't know what you're trying to say, mate. So this one is an interesting idea. It comes from Rish. He says players never get sick, they only get injured. So basically what he means is, like, sometimes you'll cop a training injury for a player and he misses maybe 6 months. Or if they're playing a match, they get injured and then they miss some time as well. But you never get an email saying Ozil has the flu or something like that. And we all know that Ozil sometimes is sick and he does miss a few games. But in career mode, there's no flus, there's no fevers. They usually affect humans and can prevent them from playing a game of football because they're just that sick. They can't run, they can't do that sort of stuff. So basically all they have to do is make it like the training injuries where you'll cop an email saying, you know, this guy has the flu, he can't play for this game, you'll have to drop him or you have to rest him. I think it's pretty realistic because players are humans, they can get sick in real life, and there is instances where they do miss a few games sometimes due to being ill. And it will just make injuries a little bit more dynamic and unpredictable as well. Well, that is pretty much the end of today's list. I do have a lot more material to come, so I do expect a lot more episodes. Make sure you subscribe if you do enjoy it. I actually have fun making these because there's a bit of comedy involved and I get to be a little bit creative, but I do need your help. If you want to see this series continue, make sure you keep sending in any bugs and glitches or just things that generally do not make sense about FIFA 19 career mode. And please try and provide photos or clips. It would help me out when I'm making the video. But if you need something else to watch, make sure you check out the last episode I did of the series. Click the card right now. It'll take you to that video. If you want to help